Hi, it's BZ. It is 4/26, 2022, and this is day one of a whole new life, a whole new place. This is a temporary place, and could be that a bunch of them are temporary for a while. So just wanted to say quick hello. I didn't get here to the cabin until later than I thought because I didn't leave uh, until later than I thought. So I just didn't have the zip in me to do the New Earth Community Porch gathering. But I would like to start to do some things like that for those who want to come and play. And a lot of people are saying they like community and want to be in part of that. And the trick is to figure out a way um, where they want to do that, where they actually come and partake and be in community. I'd love to do, sometime as I get better better wheels, um, or a trailer behind the really good wheels I have, and meet people in places, and actually have gatherings so that if I've been in a state and there's a bunch of people that are near that area or can come drive a bit to get there, I would love to start to do that, kind of like I don't know, old-fashioned tent gatherings and connectivity that way. So I'm in the process of feeling into what I want to do and starting everything new. One of the things I wanted to do was I like connecting and reaching out every day. So a little bit every day. And I'm not sure whether that's just going to be, hey, this is what adventure or challenge or whatever is on the path for me. Two dogs, Australian Shepherds, and a kitty. And I guess it has sales value at, single person, um, late 50s, on the road to do life in a whole new way, living life in HD. And that means not by the old rules. That means not by just the ego mind. That means tuning into all of you and the energetic that is you. And some people understand that very well, and some people don't have any clue about that. They're so ingrained in the construct, false construct out there. Um, and so everyone actually is doing this. They're in on this journey, whether they realize it or not consciously yet, of going home, coming home to themselves, coming home to the truth of who they are, coming home to the magnificence of who they are, and the magic, the captivating energy and abilities and attunement in all of their being and the surroundings, nature, connecting with other people. And that's this journey that we're all going through. Um, and some are focused on just the out there with everything crumbling down. So um, for today, I'd say, I thought about maybe if a phrase or a feeling or a word came would to play with each day. That may be something I'm playing with. I'm one of the things I'm distracted because I'm looking outside the window this way, and there's a wonderful big tall spruce tree, and there's a growth. I'll take a photograph of it tomorrow, but there's a growth off of it, which is probably just a limb growth or change, but where I'm sitting, it looks like the head of an animal that has morphed out of, so I'm either really tired or can see even better than I ever could before. But it's fascinating. There's eyes and the antlers and big nose. It's kind of like a combination between a pronghorn, but the nose is pulled out. It's fascinating. I've been to this cabin at my friend's before and have never noticed that. I've noticed a bump on the tree, but this is, the face has popped right out. I mean, you can see the nose and the nostrils and where the mouth is and the eyes and little bits of ears and sort of horns. And if you're just joining me for the first time, you're thinking, this woman's whacked. And maybe this living life in HD is not something you want to do. But anyways, I'm just noticing it, and it's catching my eye as I was talking to you. So we'll see if it's still there tomorrow. Today was the final day of moving everything from where I was my job for 7 years, which was a very pretty place and a very demanding job, and pretty much 24/7 most, if not all of the time, with occasional real days off, and no interest by the organization to rectify that. So I decided it was time to move on, better into the unknown. And right this moment, well, not in here, well, actually in here because it's freezing, but uncomfortable because it hadn't so far hasn't panned out and unfolded the way I was feeling into that it would, that I could see it happening, which was bright and shiny and new. And yes, some new can be challenging and different things. And maybe that's part of change. You go through, maybe you have perceptions of what it is, or you're pulling it through, and you walk through the change because you're changing so much. I think that's a lot of what's going on right now. And one of the things that definitely is a feeling as I sit here tonight, the dogs are laying down. Rose Kitty did pretty good today. She's an English Blue Tabby, and she's a sweet girl, and she's changing too. She's morphing into more of her soul is coming into her. So more of the higher wisdom cat is actually showing up. She has for some time, but now it's in a different, she even looks different. She looks younger. She looks more I don't know, more polished, more, I don't know, more fit. I don't know. Nothing really in the physical has changed. Anyway, she's in the bedroom just to get a sense of that, this is home for a few days, and she's gonna have to get used to that. And so I'll let her out maybe a little later tonight for a little bit, and then I just want to make sure I don't lose her underneath a piece of furniture or something. You can't find her. So, but when I think one of the things that I'm wanting to give voice to tonight is that change comes in all different shapes. But with all these changes right this moment, we may individually decide to, leave your job, which is where you work and where you live and where you've been for 7 years. And in leaving that, you leave everything. So you don't have the house anymore, or, a little tiny house anymore. You don't have a job or income anymore, and you've got to move out and move into the next step. And it just got so untenable a situation that originally the plan had been to gather the wherewithal. So I started doing that with the truck, which is new to me, but it's a pretty new, young truck and very few miles on it. And Merlin did stellar today, all rigged up on the on the roof rack and going through the mountains, and did great with big trucks on either side, and loaded down with stuff. So did good. So whether you're like me and you're doing all sorts of changes, actually everybody is like me and they're doing all sorts of changes. They just may not be consciously doing them because your body and your heart and all of your organs, all of your physiological state and being is changing, because the energies are changing, because you're all energy. We are all energy. Mindsets are changing, knowledge, knowing, understanding, tuning in abilities to what really has been going on before, which is important, and big stuff being revealed there. But what's much more important and much bigger revealing is just who and what we are, and the capabilities and the abilities, and anything that we may have painted in the linear sense of love or knowledge or wisdom or capabilities or gifts or talents is incredibly pale compared to the truth of what we really are and who we really are and how we exist and what we have to share and offer and give for ourself and our own heart's desire and enjoyment, and how we walk through whatever that looks like and pull it to us, and how we dance with others, in the linear, and then others that to the linear corporeal eyes, are not, seemingly not solid, yet they're there, and there is communication, and it's very deep and sometimes very fun. I was thinking today, I was driving, on the highway, and it's been a bit since I've driven on the highway, and haven't driven this truck on the highway, and haven't driven with stuff up top that I'm, nervous is going to be launching at people. And two dogs are in the car, and they're a little nervous because it's kind of a stressed out situation since we threw everything out or gave some stuff away and then put the rest in the truck, and they know that we're out. But on the same token, given that everything is changing and they know it, and it's been ongoing in the 40 days process that I did, and Rose too, they've been great. So I was driving along and I was doing things to raise my energy vibration and tune in and get into the heart and let go of, working late last night, not feeling well at all with a stomach bug sort of thing, and then getting up super early to still not be finished and try to get it. And so in all of that, and I planned to leave at 9 and didn't get out of there till I drove out the gates at 11:16 Pacific time this morning on 4/26/2022. And that felt good. It felt different. Moving through that felt different. But of course, then the linear being one pulled me out of the heart. And so I was, well, what about this? And where we're going to go? And what are we going to do? And how are we going to do this? And and is Rose going to be in a kind of a car carry tent next to me in perpetuity, and the dogs in the back, and blah 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 blah. But anyways, as I was driving, I was doing some things. I was doing Blossom Goodchild and the Federation's I am the light, I am the love, I am the truth, I am, and out loud and toning that, and that felt better just to continue to do it. It was almost like it became a song, became notes that I was giving voice to and speaking and toning, and that changed the energy in the whole truck with the 4 other beings that were with me. And then I was kind of going through a checklist of, asking for guidance or asking for support or asking for protection or assistance, or, a whole sort of thing, because a lot of that, because my brain was I was in my brain and not my heart. And there are certain sections you go through. I didn't go all the way through Seattle, but you're going that way. And so it gets, there's like 8 lanes joining, and people are jockeying, and big trucks and all that kind of stuff. And I'm still getting used to the truck, as I say, on the highway, which is different. Although it's a big truck, and I don't know, I was probably kibitzing on something, and this moving truck came in front, pulled over it from one lane in front of me, and it says, "Don't worry, we've got this." And I laughed because there was no on ramp coming, and I'd driven up and all around the traffic, so I would have seen, it wasn't a tiny truck. I would have seen this truck, and all of a sudden it was there, and it pulled right in my lane, with plenty of room, but it pulled right in my lane when I was on one of these, could you help do this and what about that? And don't worry, we've got this. So I chuckled at that, and then cars move and whatever, and I got better in the heart, and the energy got better, and then I don't know, some errant thought, which happens in the ego mind, came through, and it was and I just couldn't resist. I just reeled that puppy in. And started going, and out of the blue, the truck comes right, same truck, wasn't anywhere around in any of the lanes. And I looked behind another semi, there it was, and it came right in front of me and slowed down a little and saw the sign again. And then I was driving for a little bit behind it, and I knew I had a big, when there's all these different lanes and there's, shooting off in different directions, if you don't see the lane for your particular next highway to join into in time, you can miss it because you can't get over. So I'm thinking, well, for some reason my GPS wasn't saying anything. It was giving me, readout on the thing, which isn't doing me any good because I needed to hear it because it was on the phone, not on the dashboard, because I haven't figured that one out yet. It doesn't quite talk to me right. Anyways, and I was like, well, anytime anybody wants to let me know which lane that is coming up for my lane to go on 90 East, in the general direction of Spokane, Washington, that'd be cool. And so this same truck, don't worry, we've got this, in front of me, put its left signal on just for 3 blinks and turned it off. And I thought, don't worry, we've got this. So I pulled into the next lane, and there was the right thing, and they veered off out of the lane that I had been in, because that was which I couldn't see, was blocked by the top of the trucks in front of me. There was a semi and then this truck. And I thought, good on you, thanks. So, and the animal is still out there on the tree. Anyways, one of the things I wanted to talk about is that when we're changing and all these changes and the energies come in, is that sometimes it affects us in different ways and may feel like it's playing tricks with melancholy or kind of a sadness, or maybe trying to think of the right words. That's some of what I'm feeling now, and I have this feeling of like a piece, a part, a veneer is one the word that comes to mind, or I don't know, something like that is gone. And when I feel into all of, and I haven't gotten there yet, but when I feel into all of it and figure out what there was, I think I'll be very glad. In fact, I know I'll be very glad that it's gone, and because it's part of this change, it's part of this, and everybody's changes, whether you know it or not, understand it or not, recognize it or not, are huge, huge. Mine are too. And where I'm going and why I was called from within and from my soul and all of my team is to do big things, to play big things. And one of those is to play incredibly big things in my heart's desires, which happen to include other beings and being in community and being of service, not at the top of the list, but right up there. And so I know that this is a big change, but so as I sit here in a very pretty but freezing cabin, which I'm working to fix a bit, there is a sense of melancholy, of loneliness, I think would be the right term, although I don't mind being, I like being alone, but there's a sense of maybe it's my little girl BZ who's like, well, where's all the bright shiny stuff? We're freezing her butt off in this cabin, and yeah, it's pretty, but it's pouring outside. Actually, icy rain outside, and and so where's the good stuff? I'm like, well, hey, babe, we've only been on the road for a couple hours, and we got a lot to detox from, 7 years, and we've been busting our butt on the full-time job and filling in the 4 positions or 4 people that it would take to fill my position in different sections. And sorry, don't want to burn down the cabin. Changing all sorts of stuff. So it's going to feel different. It's going to feel unusual. Anyway, so I thought, well, today's the first day and isn't quite the way I had thought, but it still feels good. It feels when the clouds clear on all levels. I think I know it'll be great. And maybe that's the sharing, is that there is a bit of work because we're changing everything. And are you willing to love yourself and trust yourself, all of you, and honor those changes, honor what your soul is asking you to do, and everything will be very, very different. And the really wonderful part about that is that very different is so cosmically, much more cosmically delicious than you could ever imagine, regardless of what it is that you are currently being and doing and experiencing. And as you start to walk towards and step into your dreams, your feelings, your what you would like to create, and wouldn't it be wonderful if your magical stuff, your, you're a magical being, and that's where creation comes from, within magic, within the spark of that energetic. And here's the thing, where we are, wherever that is, in how we're living our lives, that's the illusion. The magic is not the illusion. The fact that you're multidimensional is not the illusion. The fact that the out there and the central banks and the letter C and a number next to it, 2-digit number next to it, and some other things, that's the illusion. The way it was made out to be is the illusion part. And they're all connected. Everything is connected. And very soon everybody's going to see that's the case. Many already know it. But that's not what the focus is about. The focus is about you. The focus is about each one of us individually in our unique singularity that is coming into masteryship, And the focus is about our unity in that dance as we embrace our singularity, our sovereignty, and step up, step in, and trust the magnificence that we are, and start playing it, and start sharing it. And so, anyways, that's a little bit about what this flow on the channel will now be about. And it's about doing big things, playing bigger. And I'm excited to come and connect with you once a day and share on that in some bits, maybe some kind of formula to it, or may just be whatever is wanting to give voice. I'll do other things, like my rambling by the river, and then the business, creating things in the business, and play shops and different products and services and stuff. But this is really about, for me and for all, how to live your life in HD, how to live in a high definition, in crystalline clear clarity and of the vibrations and your abilities, and using this amazing body that you have, this amazing sensory array, which is far more than the five senses, and using that and living life in a higher design from your soul's guidance and co-creation with you. So yes, there was a pre-matter template. Yes, there was a pre-birth, pre-embodiment plan. And that is changing moment by moment when you step in and work with that. It's your soul inspired blueprint 2.0, where you are coming together actively in embodiment with you and your soul, and you're moving into the next iteration of that, the next expansion of that, and you're just leveling right up. And the third is in the higher dimensions. So living life in HD has three trinity of components to it. And the third is living in the higher dimensions, which are totally different vibrational frequencies. And they have different, it's not rules, but there's a container to them. There is a scope to them. And it is absolutely a partnership, tangible right there between you and your soul. And the illusions that I mentioned a minute ago are not there. And when one wants to play with those illusions again, that's where the rub comes, because that's not how you connect and move through. So sometimes a day comes like today, and which was kind of good and moving in the right direction, and taking that whoa big leap of faith and trust fall, and feeling different than you thought you would, feeling melancholy, feeling those kinds of things, and at the same moment going, this is interesting, I feel this way, and what's that about, rather than diving into feeling that way, just noticing. Biggest superpower you got, noticing and playing with that, and then moving through it, and having a nudge from your soul say, it's day one, and we came up with this play plan to do a video of some flow every day. It's day one, so off you go. And that has helped because it's a connectivity, and it is a receptivity to playing in the energies, and being all in, regardless of what in that moment those energies and what presents as we clean and clear and expand, past the illusion. So if the illusion is part of this, black sweater, is layers, you let those go, and what you're really feeling and seeing is not a diminishment or being small or something like that. What you're seeing is you moving through, you know, as you is coming through this with the cast. It's your power, it's your brilliance, it's your abilities that have to push the illusory rubble out of the way to come through. And so don't look so much at the thing that's, that's the sad or the melancholy or the making you anxious or or kind of these invented things. Look and feel and dance with, what do I want? What lights me up? What do I want to create? What am I calling forth to me? What am I stepping into because I have a knowing of it, a deep knowing of it, because it's something I want and I feel, because I can see and know other beings who are doing it, because the old clearly doesn't work. And I've tried, if you can go through different iterations, I've tried doing this and the other thing, and it's not working. And I feel and experience these things that other people are talking about with connecting with their soul and being in their heart, and that feels different. And so it's choosing. And we're in a moment now where you absolutely are choosing, but all of the container, all of reality, all of your embodied life is changing already. And are you going to come along and navigate now? Your soul is the symphony. It's the orchestra, and you get to direct what pieces are played, what color comes forth, what beautiful, amazing creations in your own singularity and in unity and in connectivity that you're going to play with, that you're going to bring forth. Because you're that good. You're that good. So, day 1 on New Beginnings for All. I love you.